welcome to Season 2, Episode 10 of Full House Rewind. I'm your host, Dave Coulier. And you'll notice I'm wearing a hat, my chapeau, on the show today. I've often worn many hats in my life and career, and today I'm wearing this hat for another reason. A few weeks ago, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Big surprise. It's a type of cancer. And this has all happened to me very quickly, and I'm already going through chemotherapy, so I thought, well, I'm going to make a decision here. Rather than waiting for my hair to fall out, I would do a preemptive strike and cut my hair. I guess I look a little bit like Mr. Woodchuck now. Okay. But it kind of looks military a little bit. And it's appropriate because this is my own personal battle. So why talk about this on Full House Rewind? Well, because cancer has affected nearly all of us. I lost my sister Sharon during the 1991-92 season of Full House, but she got to come to a couple of tapings of the show, and my God, she loved it. She was only 36 years old when she left the planet. And then I also lost my niece, Shannon, to breast cancer when she was just 29 years old. Yeah, amazing. Amazing that it happened to them. And then I lost my mom a few years after that. Again, breast cancer. I saw what they went through, and if I can be even half as strong as they were during their battles, I'm going to put up a pretty good fight. So if you can, I encourage you to get a mammogram, early screening and check-in with your doctor when you get a chance. And early detection can mean all the difference in the world. And that goes for you guys too. So that means prostate exams, colonoscopies, all that stuff. And if my encouragement can lead you to get checked out by your doctor sooner than later and can possibly help even just one of you, well, this little journey that I'm on is all going to be worth it. Because there's a lot of things to live for, so many things for you to look forward to. All right, now I'm going to do a little magic trick here, and I'm going to try and segue from cancer into something that I've been looking forward to. This is huge for Full House Rewind, and it's been under wraps for a couple of months now. Sometimes you get to work with someone that you just like immediately. Marla Sokoloff has been, well, she's always been at the top of my list. She's a wonderful, funny actress, a writer, director, and Full House fans, you're going to remember her as the character Gia Mahan. It is with great happiness that I get to say, please welcome my new permanent co-host here on Full House Rewind, the super talented and funny Marla Sokoloff. Yay! Listen to the crowd. Everybody's going crazy. Hi, Marla.
Wow, I don't even know. I feel so many different emotions right now, Dave. That was a lot.
No, it's like, okay, cancer, now Marla, right? When I was doing stand-up, there was like this thing, a charity event I had to do one time, and they were just showing all of these kids that had cancer, and we were raising money for the kids and, you know, to help fight cancer. And then I had to go up and do stand-up. They showed this film where it was so sad, and people were crying. They're like, all right, now let's bring Dave up. And I'm like, okay, how do you follow that? So I apologize, but thanks.
No, I'm actually thrilled that I could bring any sort of levity to the situation, even though this is a really serious time for you. But I just want to say how proud I am of you for how you've handled every single step of this so far. And I think it's amazing that you're going to share your journey on Full House Rewind for so many. You're just going to help so many people. So I'm honored to be by your side remotely, and thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy we get to do this show together. You know, I had you on as a guest, and I said, oh man, if I could get her as a co-host, this would be just like such a coup. And then, we talked about it, and you said, I'm in. And I was like, oh my.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I don't really know what I'm going to do, but whatever it is, I'll do it. Like, I would never say no to you. Like, immediate yes. I was honored and so excited, and I just think it's going to be so fun.
Well, we've known each other for so long, and I've got to act beside you for years. I've even gotten to direct you and had you on the show, and I'm just so happy about this. You know, it's just like you're my perfect co-host. Should we just jump into the show here? Because this is our first
jump
one.
in.
We might as well see how we're going to do. We don't know how we're going to do yet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I haven't revisited these. I think this is fun too because I haven't revisited the show really, So for me, it's like a rewatch also. I feel like it's so far removed from my brain, all of these episodes. So I think it's going to be really fun to, relive it all.
Did you watch Full House like when you were actually acting on Full House?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was such a fan of the show before I was a part of it. I lived in San Francisco, a little town called Danville, and everybody watched TGIF. It was such a big deal. And then when I got the audition for Gia, it was like, no, I have to get this part. Like, I don't think you understand. I need to be on this show. So it's also really cool to be on a show that every single one of your friends was a fan on. It's like a fan of. Like now we watch shows. It's like, oh, do you watch Succession? No, I've never seen it. But like when you are 12 years old, everybody was watching Full House. So it was a flex.
Oh man, and Gia smoked. Gia was a smoker on Full House. She was a bad girl.
Yeah. That's everybody's like favorite question to ask me. Like, were you really smoking or do you really smoke?
What were you smoking? What did they give you when you're supposed to?
They were like, oh my gosh, Jody and I loved those cigarettes. We stole them. We were so bad. We took them from the prop guy because I had like an army jacket and he would, the cigarettes, I kept them in there and we would like be in cahoots to like get the cigarette, like don't give it back to the prop guy so we could keep them. But they were just rose hips and cloves, I believe.
And you lit them? You got to light them?
Yeah.
And they
they would light and they would smoke. And you can inhale it safely. But yeah, Jody and I we thought we were so cool.
Ooh, man.
I mean, we were so cool. Let's be clear. We were so cool.
Yeah, you were so cool anyway. So that just adds to your cool quotient. We're going to be talking a little bit about episode 10 of season 2, also known as Middle Age Crazy. And this episode was directed by Peter Baldwin, who I believe he won an Emmy for...
The Wonder Years?
Wonder Years. Yeah, I think he won an Emmy for directing a show. And we should tell people, I'm here in Michigan and you're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So the magic of tech.
I mean, it's a perfect job for me. I don't have to leave my house. It's like, literally, I only leave if I really have to.
Well, and plus you got 3 daughters. So, I mean,
I do.
Yeah, that's that in itself.
But it's a perfect segue because I have a middle child. So I'm very well versed in middle children.
Yes, and we're gonna talk about that too. The show first aired January 6, 1989.
Right.
Do you want to give us the rundown of what this episode's about?
This one is about how Stephanie feels the loneliness and frustration of being the middle child.
I was a middle child. I was a middle child too.
So you're also a middle child, so you know.
I know. We're going to describe what's happening in the episode together, and I'll start us off. Season 2, episode 10 opens with a teaser in Michelle's room. Danny, Jesse, and Joey are blowing bubbles with Michelle. Michelle exits, and DJ enters to see the guys having fun with the bubbles. Now, taking the role of parent, she playfully asks them if they've finished their homework. As DJ exits, the guys continue blowing bubbles.
The show opens in the kitchen with Danny holding Michelle and a video camera. He tells Michelle that he wants to make a video of her eating like a big girl. When Danny prompts Michelle with action, she instead goes to her rocking horse nearby.
Stephanie and her friend Harry enter the kitchen. Stephanie announces that she did 103 hula hoops at school today. She begins hula hooping as she and Harry start to count. Danny stops her and says that he's shooting a video of her adorable little sister. Stephanie says that she can be adorable too and starts to hula hoop again. Danny insists that the video is just about Michelle. Oh boy, we see the disappointment on Stephanie's face.
Cut to Joey's room. Jesse's on the phone speaking with their ad agency, assuring them that their new jingle will be ready first thing in the morning. As Jesse talks on the phone, Joey throws crumpled pieces of paper at him. Upon hanging up, Jesse throws crumpled paper at Joey.
Well, Jesse and Joey begin spitballing ideas for the jingle. They rehash a previous idea with a rap theme. Rap was new then. Yeah, back then. They perform
So cool.
the rap-themed jingle and decide that it stinks. Yeah. Stephanie enters and tries to impress the guys with her hula hoop skills. Jesse tells Stephanie that they're under tremendous pressure and they'll just watch her hula hoop later.
DJ enters and asks the guys to help her with her science project for school, build a device to drop an egg from 2 stories without breaking it. She pleads with Jesse and Joey, and they eventually cave.
Well, of course they always cave. The kids always made them cave. Jesse, Joey, and DJ exit to the kitchen where Stephanie is hula hooping. The guys spring into action to help DJ with her project. Stephanie reminds the guys that they were just too busy to watch her hula hoop. Well, Joey tests the science project with an egg inside a Twinkie. He drops it, and of course the egg shatters on the table.
Good one, Joey. We cut to the living room where Danny's videotaping Michelle, who's singing along to music. Stephanie enters and tries to get Danny's attention by singing a rendition of Barry Manilow's I Write the Songs. Danny insists once again that he needs to get some footage of Michelle singing her song. Stephanie exits, and once again, we see her disappointment.
I would have started singing I Write the Songs by Barry Manilow, but then we'd have to pay. Because my rendition is just
Barry
like,
Manilow.
right, on the money.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not.
A few minutes later, Stephanie is singing more of I Write the Songs to Mr. Bear, who is sitting on her bed. Stephanie sits next to Mr. Bear, and we segue into a dream sequence.
The dream sequence begins with Jesse, Joey, and Danny in the living room with Michelle. She sits on a stool as the guys are anticipating that she's about to do something amazing. Stephanie enters dressed in a spacesuit and announces that she's just arrived back home from being the first kid in space. The guys casually ignore her and turn their attention back to Michelle. They each pull out a video camera and are amazed when Michelle blinks her eyes.
And then Stephanie tells the guys that she went to Mars. The guys once again ignore Stephanie and present Michelle as the winner of Stephanie's bike.
The door opens as a red carpet unfurls and fills the living room. DJ enters and the guys adorn her with a cape, a crown, and a scepter, rewarding her for going to the mailbox and getting the mail. Stephanie begins floating through the living room and the guys pay not attention and exit with DJ to the kitchen.
Oh man, it just keeps getting worse. We cut back to Stephanie lying on her bed with Mr. Bear. Her friend Harry enters and tells Steph that he'd like to get a picture of her in the hula hoop for his scrapbook. She tells Harry that she could move out of the house, but won't be able to do so until she gets married. She then asks Harry if he'd like to marry her so she can move out. Wow, that's advanced for a kid her age. Her and Harry agree that they'll get married later that day.
Oh, that's nice.
That's cute.
We fade into the living room where Jesse, Joey, and DJ are at the top of the stairs discussing her egg dropping contraption. As DJ drops the device, the doorbell rings. As Danny enters, he catches the egg, which cracks in his hand, splattering egg yolk into the living room. As Danny exits, DJ opens the door, revealing several kids who announce that they've arrived for Stephanie's wedding ceremony. As the kids exit the living room, Jesse and Joey rehash an idea for their latest jingle. Joey, Jesse, and DJ exit to continue with the science project.
We cut to the backyard where all the kids have gathered. Harry is dressed in a suit, and there are crepe paper decorations everywhere. The kids play a rendition of Here Comes the Bride on kazoos. Cute. Stephanie enters wearing a white dress and holding a bouquet of red flowers. Is it bouquet or bouquet? What do you say? Bouquet?
I say a bouquet.
It's a bouquet, I think. It's a bouquet.
A bouquet.
Yeah,
I say bouquet.
It's a okay, bouquet. Bouquet it is. Red flowers. The ceremony begins and the ceremony ends with Harry kissing Stephanie's hand.
Doesn't sound very committed, Harry. We cut to the living room. Like you couldn't kiss your bride? We cut to the living room. DJ drops the egg contraption.
At that age, is he gonna smack her on the lips?
I don't want her to have rejection. I just feel for her. We cut to the living room. DJ drops the egg contraption, and the parachute opens, and the egg lands safely on the floor. Jesse and Joey get super inspired and sing their new jingle. You remember the jingle?
Boy, I don't. I'm going to have to go back, and this is one of those times where now I'm like, okay, I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember. Full House fans know way more about the show than I do. Way more.
Of course.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. I don't know the jingle. And that's why Danny enters the living room. He's shooting a video of Michelle as she wheels in on a toy horse. Stephanie and Harry enter arm in arm and announce that they are now, ta-da, married. Harry exits saying that he has to get home because it's meatloaf night.
Stephanie sits on the living room step and talks about how everyone's been ignoring her. The family, sensing Stephanie's disappointment, walks over to her. She tells everyone how she's going to be stuck in the middle between DJ and Michelle. The family tells Steph that there are some great things in the middle, like the middle of a sandwich and Oreos.
Okay. That's a good, Good advice, telling kids.
Yeah.
She's like, you're like an Oreo. Yeah. You're like a cookie, kid.
You're a little cookie.
Well, Danny pulls Stephanie aside and gives Stephanie a heartwarming pep talk about being the middle sister. Each member of the family gives Stephanie a hug. Ah, of course. She begins hula hooping and singing another rendition of I Write the Songs. The family joins in singing, and that is what happens in the episode Middle-Aged Crazy. Middle-aged kids. What do you think? Any thoughts about that episode?
There's a lot going on, and I'm interested in your middle child experience because my middle child was the youngest child for so long because there's a big age gap. But what I realized about her, and I mean this with like nothing but love in my heart, is that she had middle child tendencies before she was a middle child. Like if I'm pouring, some juice or something, her sister always has more, even if she doesn't. She's always feeling a little bit slighted. And I do think that's a middle child trait.
Well, what do you think are the basic middle child traits?
Okay. Do you always feel like you're not getting enough? Like attention?
50-50.
Okay, you're 50-50.
I was an independent
what are some other
kid.
middle child traits?
I was an independent kid.
See, I don't know. Do they tend to be independent? You said that.
Well, the first kid gets all the movies, all the videos are the first kid. The parents are like, okay, here comes another one. So that kind of level drops down a little bit. You're not the sole focus. You're like, oh.
You get the secondhand stuff too, like anything, the toys. I mean, especially in my family, it's the clothes because we're all girls over here. So yeah, I think you get nothing, you don't get the new stuff.
Yeah.
That comes with issues.
I remember, here's something I remember. When I was probably 7 or 8 years old, my dad was, he got laid off from, he was at Chrysler. He was working for Chrysler. He got laid off, so we didn't have much money. And here we are. And I remember my mom took my sister's jacket and made her jacket into a jacket for me. And I had to go to school, and I thought all the kids at school would know that I'm wearing my sister's jacket. And I remember just bawling my eyes out, being like 7 years old. My mom said, no one's going to know. No one's going to know. And I'm like, well, there's fur on the collar, Mom.
Stop it.
Yeah, there was she left like fur around here and tried to make it really nice. But yeah, I think that was part of the
My friend who's a middle child, he's a boy middle child. So it's like a sister, boy, him, sister. I mean, sister, boy, sister. And he said that his mom refused to sign him up for his own activities. So he was taking like jazz and tap because she was like, I can't drive all you kids around, which, I mean, as a mom of 3, I understand that. So she was like, you're going to jazz and tap with your sister. And he was like, I was the only boy in the class because it wasn't really cool back then to take dance. But his mom was like, there's no option. That's where she's going, and that's where you're going.
But you get to meet all the girls.
Yeah, exactly. You can use that to your advantage.
And I wish in high school, I was a jock. I was a hockey player. I wish in high school I so wanted to be in plays. And then I remember talking to some of the guys, and they said, all the cute girls are in the plays, you dummy. I was like, I guess I am a dummy. Yeah, you're right. Then I'd go to the play, and I'd see him like dancing and kissing this girl on stage, and I'd be like, why? Okay, hockey.
Is that why you got into acting?
Yes, because I never got to kiss the cute girl on a stage. Yeah. Hey, are we gonna play a little game here?
I would love to play a game. What game should we play?
Let's play this one. Let's play Cut Out the Middleman.
This game's called Cut Out the Middleman. And in this episode, Stephanie struggles with being the middle sister, as we've already talked about. So I'm going to ask you some questions related to things in the middle, and then you can see how many you get correct.
Okay. All right.
This one's hard. What is the middle letter in the English alphabet? L, M, N, O, or P?
L, M, N, O, or P? N, O, or P? I'm going to say N.
N, as in Nancy?
N as in Nancy.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It's actually M, as in Marla.
M as in Marla. Okay. Well, I was trying to think what's the middle of the alphabet quickly, so I didn't look like a total dummy. It's M. Okay. I never knew that. All right.
I'm just glad you're the one getting the questions asked and not me, because I would get an F minus. Okay. What is the middle layer of the Earth called? And don't say Middle Earth.
Is it mantle?
Yes.
Mantle. Mickey Mantle.
Mantle.
Okay. So I'm one for
number
for two.
Yeah.
All right.
In the human body, what is the name of the muscle located in the middle of the chest?
Oh gosh.
This one's hard.
In the middle of the chest. The middle of the chest.
It's like,
oh, pec. A pec.
Yes. You're so smart. Look at you.
Okay. I'm
okay.
2 for 3. Okay.
Here's another question about the human body. What is the muscle located in the middle of your back? That sounds like it belongs at the circus.
Oh, trapezius. Is
yes.
that right? Is that right?
Yes.
Trapezius.
Yes.
Trapezius. Ding, 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 ding. All right.
You're really well versed in the human body. I'm impressed. Here's you're going to know this one because there's only one answer here. What's the worst seat on a commercial flight?
I try to never be there. The middle seat.
The middle seat just sucks. Yes. All right.
I did pretty good.
You did great. I don't have a prize for you. I don't have anything other than a congratulations. You did great.
Okay. Well, I feel better. I feel so much better about myself. I got 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 questions.
You just have to work on the alphabet. You got to go back to preschool, and then you'll be good.
You know, I always got confused with the body charts in school, like anatomy, because the words were like trapezius and pectoralis. I could never figure that stuff out, but I knew what pecs were because you'd work out, and I used to do this character. Even when I was a little kid, I would go, "Hey, nice pecs. What's your max?" And I would do this weightlifter. It was like early Hans and Franz, I guess.
Oh my God, totally Hans and Franz.
And with that, since I did so well on the quiz, it's time for
pencils down, everybody.
Yeah, pencils down. Time's up. Pencils down. Now it's time for cut it out.
Cut it out.
Of course, every episode of Full House had a heartfelt scene. And we have cut out a scene from season 2, episode 10, that we're going to read together. I'll be playing the role of Stephanie, DJ, and Michelle. And Dave, you're going to play Danny, Jesse, and Joey.
Oh, okay, good. So you're the girls, I'm the guys.
Yeah, that's easy enough. Okay, scene. Danny talks with Stephanie in the living room as the family watches.
Okay, here we go. Violin music, swelling.
Cue the music.
Cue music. All right, there. Oh, that's nice, nice. Danny says, Stephanie, come here. You have to realize that sometimes your sisters are going to need our attention. But if you ever feel like you're not getting your fair share, I want you to come and tell us about it.
Really? I can do that?
You better. Every time I get a little busy with something, I don't want you to run off and get married.
Me neither. I don't know about this husband thing. One whiff of their mom's meatloaf and they're gone.
Come here, you beautiful bride. They hug. Me next. Joey and Stephanie hug. Come on, lay one on your Uncle Jay. You know how it's done. Jesse and Stephanie hug.
Oh, well, come on. DJ and Stephanie hug. Michelle says hug. And Michelle and Stephanie hug.
You know, this home video would be so much better if it had all three of my girls. Let me see. You want to sing I Write the Songs or go for the hula hoop record?
I can do both.
Oh, and Stephanie starts hula hooping and singing, and man, that is a lot of hugs. That is a lot of hugs right there.
Beautiful. That was very heartfelt.
Brings a tear to my eye. A little teardrop. We hugged a lot on Full House.
Yeah. Did you guys hug a lot off screen and on screen?
We did, and Tom Miller and Bob Boyette were huggers. Our executive producers, they were great huggers. So they would hug the kids, they'd hug us. We would tell it was a love fest. It was, it was a lot of hugging, Marla.
Do people ask you a lot, like if you guys all got along or what was the drama?
Yeah, but the answer was always the same. It was always, well, we get along amazing. You know, Bob and John were at each other quite a bit. They would, yeah, and I was always in the middle because I was friends with John and I was friends with Bob. But those two would, I'm like, you guys,
right?
Like, chill, okay? Just chill on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in this episode, Stephanie sings Barry Manilow's I Write the Songs, which was written, coincidentally enough, regular guests on Full House, the Beach Boys, Bruce Johnston. And he won the Grammy for Song of the Year in 1977, the year I graduated from high school. And you know what, Marla? I never knew that Bruce wrote I Write the Songs until I actually went to a Beach Boys concert here in Michigan a couple years ago. And as I watched the show, Bruce was telling the audience the story of how he wrote the song. And I thought, how could I not know this all of these years? I guess I wasn't paying attention. But I saw Bruce then at John Stamos' birthday party. And I said, Bruce, I'm only a few decades late, but congratulations on your Emmy for I Write the Songs. And Bruce, he just laughed and he was like, hey, thanks, man.
How did the Beach Boys, because they were on the show so often, right? And did that came from John, or what was the way that all came together?
John and Jeff Franklin were both audiophiles. You know, they loved rock and roll and music, and so they bonded immediately with music. And then John was a huge Beach Boy fan growing up in Orange County, California. And then John was starting to play with the Beach Boys, playing drums. And they just, he invited him on the show. And that was kind of the way that, you know, they started appearing on Full House.
That's so funny. How many episodes were they on?
That's a really good question. I bet our fans would know.
Yeah, fans, write in. Let us know. Okay, and what's your favorite Beach Boys song, Dave? Do you have one?
Oh, yes, I do. I think it's called Warmth of the Sun. And it's just this beautiful song. And then the Pet Sounds album is just, it's mind-blowing. I mean, you understand, your husband Alec is a, composer for movies and television. And so, I mean, composing that music was just like, you listen to it and you go, this is otherworldly. This is coming out of one man's brain. Amazing, amazing stuff. So I was really excited when they came on the show because I was a fan. Right.
Yeah. No. And it was a really cool, collaboration too, because it's not one you would normally expect, like Beach Boys, Full House, or a sitcom. And,
Can you think of any other bands that ever showed up on a show?
Does the Partridge Family count?
Yeah, but they were so kind. Beach Boys were so kind. They were so nice to us and just treated us with so much kindness. And we loved having them there because they were funny too, believe it or not.
So we would like to hear your thoughts on what your favorite episode of Full House is, favorite episode, or just why you love the show, anything. So you can send us an email if you have a question for us at socials@podco.us.
And we close every episode of Full House Rewind by giving all of you who need it a hug. And speaking of hugs, this week our feel-good hug goes out to all of you who are the middle child. I grew up with 3 sisters and a brother, and I'm the middle child. Now, I got all those tendencies.
So for all of you who are the middle child, including you, Dave, this Full House hug goes out to you.
There we go.
But also, I just want to give you a big hug, Dave, because this is a big episode for you. You need extra hugs. You need extra hugs today.
I've been getting a lot of those from my wife lately, so
You have the best
my
wife.
joke is I should have got cancer a lot sooner. You know?
Yeah, that's not funny, but I understand it.
In 3 weeks, I've gone from a Virgo to a Cancer. Good night. And non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They call it NHL. I finally made it to the NHL. I know, bad jokes. That's our show. This went by so nicely. Our first show together.
Yeah, we did it. We've been wanting to do this for so long. We've been talking about it for so long. We finally did it. One in the can.
I know, one in
think
the
it was
can.
great.
And we got, this one's behind us already. So that's our show. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, and join us next time here on Full House Rewind. And you can watch all of our episodes on Full House Rewind YouTube channel. And if you have a comment or question or a story, anything that you would like to share with me or Dave, head over to our Instagram at Full House Rewind. Send us a DM. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.